Latta and Ranking Member Matsui for holding this hearing on Section 230. And thank you for our witnesses for giving their time and your compelling testimony. As I stated in our hearing last month, as a doctor, as a father, as a grandparent, I understand how important our children's well-being is, particularly their mental health. This is particularly true as more and more children have access to smartphones, the internet, and specifically the content that these devices bring to them. We need to make sure that they are not interacting with harmful or inappropriate content, and Section 230 is only exacerbating this problem. We here in Congress need to find a solution to this problem that Section 230 poses, and I'm glad that we can walk through the potential reforms and the solutions here today. Mr. Berkman, what are the good parts of Section 230, and how can we reform the text so that we get back to the original text and the original intent of Section 230?
I appreciate the question, and I'll start my response by highlighting Section 230D. It is a long forgotten and tragically ignored critical component of the original concept of Section 230. And Section 230D requires internet companies, including social media platforms, to give all users notice upon signing up of all commercially available safety software providers. The immunity provisions of Section 230C were put in on the back of the understanding that there would be a robust third-party safety software industry out there protecting users, particularly adolescent users.
Is that robust industry available now?
There is an industry out there now that is effective. Unfortunately, and what could not have been envisioned in 1996 was that for the safety software companies to work, the social media platforms have to provide a level of minimal cooperation. They have to provide data access.
Does that cooperation exist?
It exists among some platforms and not others.
You used the word robust. Is it robust?
There are strong companies out there. I would not call the industry robust.
I think we share those concerns. Ms. Goldberg, what, if any, criminal activity does Section 230 inadvertently continue to facilitate? And how would reforming the law stop that illegal activity?
Well, Section 230 has basically given the tech industry a pass to allow the trafficking of children on its platform, the trafficking of drugs, matching children with predators, the sale of suicide chemicals, inciting violence. And even though there is supposedly a carve-out for federal crimes, our DOJ never holds our tech industry responsible for crimes that happen on the platforms. So with the removal of Section 230, we empower the people who are injured to take action where the government doesn't.
Do you feel that the nefarious acts that you just elicited, do you feel that those continue to exacerbate the problems with mental illness that we see in children and young adults?
100%, especially because these platforms not only turn a blind eye to the bad things that happen, but they often promote them.
My final question is for all the witnesses. There is debate happening right now that if Congress is going to amend Section 230, whether it should do so on a carve-out or carve-in basis, whether to pursue a more comprehensive approach. Can you speak to the pros and cons of each of these approaches? And I'll start with you, Mr. Berkman.
I would say we want to see comprehensive, significant reform, and that's why we're really supportive of Chair Rogers and Ranking Member Pallone's discussion draft here. It needs to be sunset and reworked. So the pros of doing carve-ins means that the social media industry is at the table and providing real compromise that is reasonable. The pro of starting over again means that we're potentially going to get a very robust system that works. Either way, with the discussion draft, we need them at the table, having the discussion as well.
Ms. Tamarella, from your perspective and from your personal experience, how would you weigh in on this?
You just mentioned the gentleman only has 5 seconds left, so you can make a real quick statement. Okay, I would say generally Engine is wary of kind of carve-outs, carves-in. We think we want a framework that works for the whole internet. Startups want to grow. They need to be able to know they're not going to have to rework their entire business model when they hit some arbitrary threshold. But as my story illustrated, as a user, free expression across the internet depends on 230, and so picking and choosing who gets 230 I don't think ends with more free expression and more innovation.
Mr. Chairman, my time has expired and I yield back.
The gentleman's time has expired, and the chair now